We know that children as young as 5 and 6 now notice that they feel different from their peers.
Littles, it's that simple. It's taking out that binary and that gender exclusion starts to rewire. I feel like I'm talking about the brain all night tonight.
It's not a matter of manners when you're talking about the destabilization of the entire structure of our means of communicating with each other.
Starts to rewire and starts making those different neural connections of, oh, we'll just, instead of saying boys and girls, we'll say everyone.
Which are basic rules of grammar and syntax that aren't supposed to be an infinite list, which is really what it's growing to be.
There's a lot of conversation around gender identity and this idea of people needing to be put in a box, male or female, masculine or feminine, and that binary in itself is exclusive.
Look, there's my rainbow, and there's my unicorn, and here's some more rainbows.
You're pushing an agenda. It can make people feel uncomfortable.
Whatever reason, they've chosen to ask you, and you should be honored. You should feel honored. You should respect that they have chosen you to seek out that information.
We can't be silent upstanders. We have to be vocal upstanders.
You're the chosen person. And I don't know if you've ever felt that from a young person, but I have.
How does LGBTQ advocacy and allyship and awareness, how does that overlap with social emotional learning and equity?
One of these hot topic issues is a push to change school culture through social emotional learning programs.
And that will set a foundation.
Students will parrot the language they heard used in the classroom. If you're using gender-inclusive language, they will use gender-inclusive language.
You have your pronouns in your email signature.
It is used to educate what they call the whole child through language manipulation, role-playing, and influence of morals and values.
Any teacher, any assistant at the school can work on this. Anybody can change that language, and it's not really asking a lot.
Especially concerning about SEL assessment is that the data from those assessments, which is often collected without parental knowledge or consent, is put into state longitudinal databases that can follow children for life.
On a student's profile page, I can log support notes about actions I'm taking to support this student.
The surveys are so that the organizations can understand the mindsets and beliefs of our children.
For example, if I led a conference with a student and we practiced self-talk strategies to build self-efficacy, I might add this to a support note.
So they can work within the system of the culture and the social emotional learning intervention to shift the mindsets towards their goal.
That way, other educators know what social emotional learning skills this student is working to build and practice.
And these amateur evaluations will presumably be included in the student's school data files.
As they are going to implement interventions that will start to shift your child's mindset towards what they want and away from what you have instilled in them.
I really think it does come back to that gender-inclusive language, especially with the younger kids.
But within our state, we need to stop it at the Indiana Department of Education. They are pushing these competencies from CASEL into the schools through different areas like career readiness.
Now, the problem, mistaken evaluations can lead to serious consequences to children, putting many of them on the road to further unnecessary evaluations or mistaken diagnoses, and perhaps even dangerous psychotropic medications that are already overprescribed in this country.
These notes are visible by all colleagues who have access to this student's page.
When Hamilton Southeastern, for example, took grant money from Lilly, they were required to bring in counselors from the American Schools Counseling Association. They're all extremely biased. There's no interest in representing all families.
The final goal is conversion and total conformity. That's often done through optics like this one, but it's for transgender activism. It shows the older daughter who identifies as a boy being held by the father.
Many of these programs are essentially psychological evaluations performed not by professionals who have had many years of training to do this, but by already overburdened teachers and administrators.
The primary use of their story is to promote an ideology designed to allow total state intrusion into all family relationships.
By what right does the government decide what is the correct personality for a free American citizen? The government is grossly overstepping its boundaries to supposedly benefit society and the economy.
Please share this video, and hopefully we can bring some much needed light to the attention of the indoctrination going on in our school system.